Hi, and welcome back to the Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning podcast. I'm here today to talk to you about Warhammer Online version 1.1a. With this latest patch, we made a lot of exciting changes and updates to the game. The most obvious change is the addition of two new careers, the Knight of the Blazing Sun and the Blackguard. People that participated in the Heavy Metal event have been experiencing these two careers for a couple of weeks now. But if you weren't part of the Heavy Metal event, or you've been waiting for some reason, the launch of 1.1a is your chance to get in and play with these two new careers, so make sure to check them out. We've also made changes to our public quest system. We've added into each of the Tier 1 zones something that we're calling an Easy PQ. Quite simply, an Easy PQ is a public quest that's targeted at a group of 1 to 3 players, giving smaller groups the opportunity to enjoy and experience public quests all throughout that first section of the game. We've also made changes that the community's been asking for to things like our chat system. We've added in chat hyperlinking, which gives you the ability, with a simple mouse click, to get additional information about things like other players, abilities that are being used against you or by you, and items that come up in your chat log. With a simple right click, you get context-specific information about each of those items, which is something that the players have been asking for very vocally on some of the forums. But obviously, we're an RVR-centered game. So in my mind, the most significant changes that we've made are to the Open RvR system, and that's what I'd like to talk to you about in some degree of depth today. Since the launch of Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning a few months ago, it's become apparent to us through internal testing and community feedback that there are areas of the RVR experience that require improvement and adjustment. I'm going to talk to you about 4 specific areas that have been addressed in 1.1a. Those are contribution during Open RvR, Keep, and Fortress public quests, the population balance, or lack thereof, in Open RvR, the incentive to defend battlefield objectives, and concerns over server stability. First and foremost, we've addressed the problem in the contribution system of Open RvR public quests that was causing the random roll tie-breaking mechanism to miscalculate scores in the event of a tie. But perhaps more significantly, we've taken steps to try and avoid ties in Open RvR public quests. Previously, almost all of the contribution in an Open RvR PQ came from killing the Keep Lord. Now, in 1.1a, everything that you're doing as part of a Keep or Fortress siege will help to add additional contribution points to you, up to and including that final assault on the Keep Lord. One of the most vocal concerns we've been hearing from the player community since the launch of Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning relates to the inconsistent and unpredictable population in Open RvR territories throughout the game. Obviously, all of the additional improvements and adjustments we're making, and the things that I'll be talking about in a moment, are going to help to make the Open RvR experience more attractive to players overall. But we're also making some specific changes to try and help people get into the Open RvR experience quickly and easily. The most significant change relates to providing event notices to players anywhere in the world in the situation where a fortress or a keep that is held by their realm currently comes under attack from the enemy realm. So if you're involved in a quest somewhere in the world and a fortress or a keep that's currently held by your realm is attacked by the enemy, you'll get a notification letting you know, hey, there's RvR action available in your area. Another concern we had about Open RvR relates to the lack of incentive for defenders of battlefield objectives. To address this, we've done a number of things, the most significant of which is the addition of an influence system for Open RvR, which will reward players who take part in both attacks and defenses of battlefield objectives all throughout the world. This influence system is comparable to what players have already experienced in PvE, and will continue to provide interesting rewards to them as they fight all over the world. In addition, we're adding extra experience and renown awards for players who choose to defend battlefield objectives in the Open RvR territories of the zones that they're currently in. Server stability in the high-end Open RvR territories of the game has been problematic since launch. When we get a large number of players on the screen, we've experienced server crashes and client problems. Our engineers have been working around the clock to implement changes into 1.1a that are going to help to address both server stability and client performance when there are a large number of players on the screen. Those are just some of the changes that we're making to improve Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning with version 1.1a. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in this patch that I didn't have time to cover in the podcast, so make sure you review the notes closely because there's a lot of great stuff in there. Thanks for watching, thanks for playing, happy holidays, and Happy New Year.